Yesterday I was on the Left 4 Dead 2 Reddit and I stumbled across this post right here. Supposedly what this is that this is scrapped achievement ideas from the Left 4 Dead 2 Last Stand update. Now I can neither confirm nor deny the legitimacy of this image. Based off of what I'm looking at, it just looks like a screenshot from a Google spreadsheet, and the developers could have possibly been flirting around some ideas back and forth with each other because some of the achievements look incomplete. Now the goal of today's video is not to debate the legitimacy of this image. What I instead would like to do is just simply look at all the achievement ideas and discuss their potential. Discuss if whether or not that these would be good achievements and should be added to the game, or if whether or not that it was a good thing that these achievements were supposedly scrapped and instead are not in the game. That being said, if you guys end up enjoying today's video, please drop a like at the very end, subscribe if you are new, and if there is a particular video that you guys would like to see from me in the future, just let me know via the comments down below. But yeah guys, let's look through all 33 cut achievement ideas that were supposed to be within the Last Stand update. Alright, so the first achievement is called Salem, and this would require the player to complete the Last Stand without killing any witches. Seems like this achievement takes inspiration from the achievement Sob Story, which requires a player to get through the Hard Rain Sugar Mill in Chapter 2 without killing any witches there. Although, be it in that chapter, there's a significant more amount of witches than there would be in the Last Stand. So maybe what they could have originally been planning for the Last Stand was to have something in the map that would make it where a whole bunch of witches would spawn, so the player had to be more careful, and therefore making this achievement more rewarding, because as of right now, the way the Last Stand currently plays, there's not really that much difference in witches compared to like the other maps. Next is We Need More Gas. On the Last Stand, secure the diesel gas cans next to the generator X seconds after it first becomes available. So this achievement is basically about being time efficient. So when the generator needs more gas halfway through the Last Stand finale, if you memorize the spawns, it shouldn't be that hard to get gas straight into the generator. At the end of the day, the difficulty of this achievement was going to depend on how much time the devs were going to give you to complete this task. If they gave you a decent amount of time, this achievement wouldn't be that bad. But if they were going to give you a very narrow window of time, this would be on the harder side. The next achievement is called Pacifist, and it says complete a campaign without killing any special infected, excluding tanks, however, though, due to holdout finales. Now, I actually like this achievement. I feel like it could be fun. Sure, a lot of players, if they were just achievement grinding and they wanted to be time efficient, they would probably just load up easy mode where not that many special infected spawn. But I want you to keep in mind, my friends, is that not everyone is going to be playing with a group of their buddies or with other human beings in general. You still have to deal with, majority of the time, the AI. And we all know how bad they can be sometimes. Sometimes they will not save you when a smoker is clearly choking you, so why would they have any reason to perform any better and kill all the special infected for you? I feel like the most toughest thing to do if you were trying to get this achievement would be just not killing a special infected on accident. I believe a player wouldn't kill something on purpose trying to get this, but I'm thinking of scenarios where you kind of have no choice. Because think about it, how many times have you played where, like, let's say you're surrounded by a horde of common infected, and a special infected just jumps in out of nowhere, and you melee bash them till they die? I can totally see a player killing an infected on accident and having to start the entire run over again. So the achievement, I feel like most players would either get right away because they got lucky with a mixture of skill, or this would take them a while, which means it would be more rewarding ultimately when they finally end up getting it. The next achievement is called Can't Touch This, and it says complete a campaign without taking any damage. I want to like this achievement, but the way that the bots play, for the reasons that I just said a moment ago for the last achievement, this one would probably be very annoying. You would have to play with human players to realistically get this, because to complete an entire campaign without just one zombie smacking you from behind, choking you from a distance and your teammates not saving you quick enough, just a random BS witch spawn, dude, this one would be just completely down to luck. You would have to hope that a friend would play with you and just take the lead, and you stay back just enough that way you don't get hit by a single thing, because 1 HP would be the difference. And if you ended up getting through the entire campaign and, like, let's say you got hit at the very end, you would have to start all over. Same idea as the last achievement. This would have a lot of either people just getting really lucky, or I feel like this would take players a decent amount of time to finally get the perfect run because of just the luck elements. The next achievement is called Tis But a Scratch and says survive a finale with only 10 HP or less remaining. Now, I do have to ask, was the original idea for this supposed to be the entire finale, or just when rescue starts to arrive? Because, as you guys know, some finales, you need to end up still traveling to the rescue radio, or just the rescue guy in general, which means that if you had to do the entire finale, that means that there is going to be a longer stretch of time that you are more vulnerable in the state that you are because you're at 10 HP. Ultimately, what this challenge is going to come down to is, once again, AI teammates. I have done this exact challenge basically before in a video of mine. I have done a no healing challenge in Left 4 Dead, and I've also done this thing called the Left 4 Dead 2 Impossible Challenge, where I combined all my prior challenge videos into one that I recorded at the time, with one of those challenges being the no healing challenge. And there was multiple points throughout the campaign when I was under a certain amount of HP, the bots just kept trying to heal me over and over and over again, and I have to put away my gun to put out a healing item in my hand so that way they screw off. So on top of the fact that there's zombies that are faster than you when you're at 10 HP or less, the fact that a singular zombie could very easily put you into black and white in this stage, and you can't heal, by the way, because if you heal out of black and white, you go above 10 HP, so you basically only get one redo at this if you end up downing. And then your teammates. Dude, this achievement would be very rewarding when you would finally get it because of all the hell you would have to go through. But until you got it though, damn, this achievement would be annoying. The next achievement is Dream Team and says play through all maps on expert realism with the same teammate. This is not going to happen. I'm sorry, but this achievement in modern day is not going to happen. I'm not saying that Left 4 Dead is so hard that you can't convince at least somebody to do this with you, but dude, there is no way that people's work schedules are going to allow for this, because you would need to play for a lot of hours to be able to get this, because you're not going to get it done in one go, I guarantee you that. So combining the retries, combining work-life balance, and finding just someone that wants to do this with you, this achievement, no dude, we can't do this again, because this is not quite as bad as Good Guy Nick, but any achievements that require an extra player to be involved and make it where that they have to be there for you to get it is not something that I want to deal with again. The next achievement is called What Are You Waiting For? In a holdout finale, survive for at least 2 minutes without getting into the rescue vehicle once it arrives. Here's the thing, is that my brain was thinking of the most efficient way that you could get this achievement. And the first thing that I was thinking of is like, okay, what's a good finale that I could hold out for 2 minutes? And the first thing I thought of was the sacrifice, because you're just elevated on the bridge and be very easy to be able to kill all the infected coming at you because it's basically a straight line. And the problem is, though, is that there's not a rescue vehicle. It's a bridge, and you're meant to also sacrifice yourself at the exact same time. So I feel like this is the one map that the devs wouldn't let you do this, and you would have to play any of the other campaigns. So I'm trying to think of a campaign that this would be beneficial to the player, and I'm thinking of things like Swamp Fever, because that's also basically a straight line, and it takes a while for the zombies to get to you. I feel like that would be a good one. Another area that you could hold out would be probably the Parish campaign. You could just circle around the helicopter and wait for a minute. I've done that plenty of times in a survival mode back in the Xbox 360 days. So there is some finales you realistically could do this on, and it would be definitely a challenge, but it doesn't mean that it's going to work on all maps. Things like, let's say, Hard Rain, or things like The Last Stand, or things like, let's say, Coldstream. I would not recommend holding out on those finales for more than you absolutely have to. This next achievement is 360 of Freedom. Kill X amount of common infected with a single melee swing. You guys can feel free to let me know in the comments what you guys think is a fair number for this achievement. This next one is called No Ride Policy. Kill a jockey with a melee weapon before it is able to ride a survivor. I'm hoping this means that I can shove the jockey and then just kill him with the final blow of my melee weapon, because if I have to melee him without shoving, this would be all the difference from making this achievement okay to fucking miserable. This one is called Weapon Specialist. Use X different weapons in one campaign. Now I'm going to give a recommendation for that X there, and I'm just going to say just use one of everything. Use the snipers, the ARs, the shotguns, the SMGs, the pistols, hell, even the tier 3 guns like the grenade launcher and the M60. Make this achievement kind of like a gun game challenge where you have to use one of everything. I would say that the melee weapons can be an exception here. Doing the melee weapons on top of this would be a little too much in my opinion, but that's just me personally. That could be debated later. And to prevent players from just loading up Whitaker's gun shop and picking up every single gun just besides the M60 and the grenade launcher, make it where you have to get at least one kill with every one of the different guns. So that way when you're doing the cola step, you have to kill a zombie, go back, kill a zombie, go back, so there's at least some sort of buffer for gameplay time. There's another achievement called At Least It Looks Cool, which is just to upgrade your grenade launcher with a laser sight. This one would just be free gamer score, basically. There's another achievement called Whack, which says Melee Skeet a Hunter. Now, in the last stand update, they did add an achievement called Get Skeeted On, which required that you kill a hunter mid-pounce with a shotgun, so maybe this achievement turned into Get Skeeted On instead. Another achievement is Lady Killer. It says Crown a Witch on Expert difficulty, but this probably became Shotgun Wedding, which requires that you end up crowning the Wedding Witch. Another achievement is She Never Saw It Coming. Kill a witch while stumbling her / stumble crown. So we'd either need a gun like a sniper, magnum, or AK-47, and then you would have to stumble the witch and just pray to God that she just gets killed before that she ends up getting out of the stumble animation. This achievement is like, because it's really not practical. This sounds kind of clunky. This one is called Time to Die. In Versus, wipe the survivors after the escape vehicle arrives. I think this achievement would have worked better back during the Xbox 360 days. This is why. Because most people don't communicate in game chat anymore, and a lot of people are just in Discords and just not very chatty in general, playing with randoms and being at the mercy of them would not make this achievement fun. Because basically what would happen is that you would have to, very last minute, coordinate with your team so that way you could be able to get as many kills as possible. And if the special infected players are on a respawn delay, you would have to start an entire brand new versus game over again and try it again at the next finale. You would have so much downtime between attempts with this achievement, it would just take way too long to finally get it. This one's called Tricap. As infected, capture and pin 3 survivors at the same time. Ultimately, what this achievement is going to come down to is just how well organized you guys are as a team. The next one is Too Clingy. Ledge a survivor as a jockey, so you're just basically getting somebody to fall off as a jockey. Next is Precision Pull. Incapacitate a survivor by pulling them off of a ledge. So basically it's the same idea as the last achievement, but with a smoker instead. The next one is Tank Gymnastics, which says jump rock as a tank. Does this achievement mean that they want you to throw a rock while jumping midair as a tank? I don't know about this, actually. If any Versus players are watching this video, maybe you could clarify for me. Is there a tank trick that you can do where you can throw a rock while bunny hopping or something? Like, feel free to let me know. Next is Bowling. It says in-cap a survivor with every single type of hittable, so I'm going to assume this is things like cars and dumpsters. This one is Tank Ball. It says, as the tank, incapacitate all survivors with hittables in one life. Translation: hit the car and hope you kill everybody. These two I'm going to put back to back because they're basically the same achievement. This is going to be 28 days later, which is going to be spend 672 hours playing Left 4 Dead 2, and 28 weeks later, which is spend 4,704 hours playing Left 4 Dead 2. Now, I don't know if they would do retroactive gameplay hours for this because the second one is definitely going to take you a while, because keep in mind, I have been playing this game on PC since the last stand update, which was almost 5 years ago now, and I only have just now accumulated over 1,000 hours. Most of my gameplay hours from back in the day are on my Xbox 360 account, which I know that this wouldn't count because there's no cross progression with Steam for this game since it's so old. And I play this game as basically a second job to my main job because I'm trying to do YouTube for a living. So, that means that for somebody that plays as often as I do, and goes at the speed that I am going to accumulate this achievement in terms of gameplay hours, brand new from a fresh account, you would either have to play a little more or a little less of 20 fucking years to get to this achievement. You're only gonna get this if you cheat or if this is your favorite game ever, because god damn, that's a lot of fucking hours. The next one is A World of Pain, which just says destroy 200 windows. I don't know why, that one also seems like a freebie. Now this achievement, I've got no idea where this comes from. It's called 47. As Nick, kill 47 commons that are not aware of the survivor with melee or M2. Parentheses, there's event data for this. I just did a quick Google search and I looked at the wiki for both Nick and achievements, and typing in 47 doesn't pull up anything for this. I really do not know what this could be. I'm going to do some more research because for how obscure this could go at the very bottom of another Left 4 Dead iceberg one day. Another achievement is What a Waste. Throw a bile jar without any comments around. This is just a freebie for noobs. And then this one says encounter the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jimmy Gibbs Jr. Yeah, for how uncommon it is to run into Jimmy, this should definitely be an achievement. I think legitimately I've only seen Jimmy Gibbs Jr. in my game 4 times ever. And that is only the times that I am aware of. It could be more, but I can't think of any more. And I think a majority of those are from Xbox. I think there's only been 1 time I've seen him on my PC account. Another achievement is Let's Finish This. Trigger the finale on official campaigns X times. Another one is you're gonna need a bigger boat, and it says escape hard rain with a tank on the boat. Yeah, that would be a little bit of a challenge, to say the least. Another one is Just Get Me to the Mall, which says deliver Whitaker's cola within X seconds after opening the Save for Less store door. You guys can let me know what you think would be a fair amount of time to do this, because I know you can be able to do things like fling the cola over the van and over the fence, which can save you a little bit of time. Maybe that's what the devs want you to do, is they want you to dabble with some tips and tricks, maybe pass it to teammates, then have the teammates take it the rest of the way. I know there's a trick you can do with explosive bullets where you can shoot the cola with the explosive bullets and make it where the cola can just land right next to Whitaker's door. That could be also a strategy. This is one of those few achievements that I feel like would require the player to get very creative. We've got magic tricks. Have Francis and Zoe drop a combined total of X items / weapons on the passing. This would have to be like 3 or less, because they don't drop them as much as I wish that they would. I do not think that Zoe and Francis drop nearly as much stuff as they could, because I know that they can drop tons of different things, like even all the way up until like an M60, but I never get lucky. I've never seen them drop more than 3 items throughout like an entire campaign to my recollection. We've tested this before for Myth-Busting Mondays, and I can't think of any way to get them to drop you certain items or more items. They're very stingy. And finally, the last achievement, Blackout. Pour a gas can during overtime on the last stand. And this sounds like a scavenge achievement, so automatically I don't like it. But yeah, guys, that is it here for today's video, and I do truly hope you guys ended up enjoying it. If you did, please consider dropping a like, comment, subscribe, follow, and all that beautiful stuff. Please let me know in the comments down below which of any of these achievements would you want to see be added into Left 4 Dead, or maybe perhaps you want to maybe add some more info to what you think could improve these achievements. I mean, heck, even if you guys have your own achievements that you want to make up from scratch, leave those in the comments down below as well. And yeah, guys, as we wrap up the video, just want to mention 2 last quick things. Number 1, I have a second YouTube channel now. It is called Black Ninja 797 Extras. And on this channel, I'm going to be uploading and posting additional content that you would normally not see here on my main channel, such as gameplay walkthroughs, funny moments with my friends, and Challenge Accepted, which was the series I used to do here on my main channel where I played games you guys requested me to play. If you guys want to check out the second channel, there is going to be a link down below in this video's description. I also want to say thank you and shout out to Epic Games for being my first ever sponsor. I have a supporter creator code with them, and the code is just my name, Black Ninja 797. If you guys want to, you can use it in the Fortnite and Epic Games item shops. Anybody that uses my code or has used it before in the past, I tremendously appreciate you. And yeah, guys, all that being said, I hope you ended up enjoying seeing another YouTube video from the most sneak YouTubers are ever going to see. Thanks for watching, guys. I love all of you, and peace out.
Hey, meme lords. Jesus here. And you better have enjoyed that video there by the Eternal God Daddy Ninja. You should probably subscribe too, or the mighty Moab will come for your balls. If you enjoyed the video, you might like it too. And give me the memes. Flash, bang, boom!